And welcome back, Mhula fans, to the Mhula Brothers Incorporated YouTube channel, where we bring you today a viewer response episode. So, we had an interaction with a subscriber, a user, and brought up a good point about speed, motors, and the bearings. And you know what? I always wanted to try this, but I never actually tried it, even off camera. So the question is, what happens when you do a double bearing? So let's try it out. So as you can see, I have put in two engines, motors. The wheels are completely off. You have the one bearing, the steering bearing. That's what I wanted to do back here too, was that at least it gave me a chance to put in the steering bearing that I wanted in the back. So we're gonna go ahead and do that as well. And while I do this, the thing here is that I'll admit something, that doing a double bearing, I am doubtful that it'll work the way we want it to work. In a sense, a double bearing will definitely give you double the speed. That's fine. That's definitely understood. The problem that I'm afraid of is that if a double bearing, excuse me, if the double bearing gives us double the torque, then that won't help. I mean, a little bit more torque than what the electric motors have is good, but having more torque is not gonna be beneficial at all, because what it's gonna do is it's just gonna cause the wheels to spin in place more, because of the physics engine, where it comes between torque and friction of the wheels. So I'm hoping that doing a double bearing like so, actually I wanted to do this just so we can see it moving at a different speed. I'm just hoping that doubling the engine power with this will definitely double the speed. I'm not doubting that at all. It's just that I'm just hoping it doesn't change the torque, because if it does, then that defeats the purpose. Otherwise, what's going to happen here is that the wheels are just going to spin, and what's going to happen is that we're just going to need worst case scenario is that this will cause us to use a slower ground speed. The other thing that'll happen is that hopefully it'll definitely increase the speed on the wheel, but then hopefully it doesn't change the torque. So as you can see, we put in the double bearing. Yeah, I had to reattach that because I made a little boo-boo off camera before I started filming. Recording, filming, whatever. Oopsie. Haha, I put the bearing in the wrong place back here. Let's go ahead and remedy that. Let's remedy that. That's supposed to be on the outside. And then we're gonna build the lip for the other suspension. Now, the funny thing that I noticed also is that I forgot who. I have to give credit to whoever gave me this idea, or who did the tutorial, I should say, on making a multiple suspension system, because you can't have multiple suspensions work on a single axle in this game, at least not yet. Someone made a tutorial on how to do it, and it works well for my walker. Unfortunately, I don't know what happens with this vehicle, where that it stops working after you ride the bus for a while. The suspension starts to freak out, and what happens is that okay, as you can see, the arm comes out to the steering bearing over here, to the drive bearings, where these are the additional suspensions. After you drive the bus for a while, maybe after about, I don't know, after maybe a little bit more than between 5 and 10 minutes, the suspension will freak out, where that you'll notice that only excuse me, only the outside suspension will be working, and then the additional suspensions are already just passing through the additional blocks underneath here. So I guess it's a nice idea for the for the physics engine. It works well from what I've seen, but maybe it's because I put it on a steering bearing that actually, no. That's right, before I even put the steering bearing, I should have filmed it, but even before I put the steering bearing on, it freaked out a couple of times. But freaked out more often on the steering bearings than on the ones in the back, but the ones in the back eventually failed. So let's do this, just so you can watch that I'm actually going to do this. We're connecting the two motors to the driver's seat, and then one motor to each side for the drive bearings. Now, that's the funny thing about everybody that I noticed when it comes to everyone who makes videos on this game as to the bearings. Now, when it comes to the bearings, yes, you can see that you have to flip the drive bearings, but then whenever anyone tries to calculate bending angles for the other bearings, for any other kinds of bending and transforming contraptions, you can switch the direction of the bearings as well, where that if you said 45 degrees negative and positive, and you want to keep it 45 degrees negative or positive, so it makes logical sense in your mind, you can just simply right click on the bearing and it'll go ahead and flip for you. That's what I do all the time. If you notice on half of my tutorials, that's what I do. I just say, alright, here you go, just do the 45, positive 45, positive 45, because that's what you want to do. Just flip the bearing. Alright, so this is where we are, ladies and gentlemen of the universe. With it now, we are here. So I'm gonna cut here and then bring you back when the wheels are rebuilt, because that's gonna take another at least 10 minutes and that's too boring. So what you want to see is the test footage. So I'll bring you back when that comes up. See you in a minute. Alright everybody, welcome back. So the wheels are built, the wheels are connected. I tested out the curling of the wheels. Now just to let you know, or just to show you, so we have a steering bearing in the back. We won't be testing that too much. We're just testing about how much friction we'll have with the wheels to the ground and how much faster it'll pull us, and see how much the wheels will spin. Now for this test, I am keeping both motors at the same speed that we always do. Actually no, what am I talking about? Test speed is usually half, but then when I was done testing and showing it off, I was all the way to the top. Well, no, I was second to the top, because once I started up here, the wheels started to free spin. So let's just do that. That's where we were, and then we'll dial it down. So everything right now is exactly the same except for the double bearings and now the double steering. Double steering we're going to ignore. Okay, what we're going to do here is talk about speed and traction. And feel that lag. There we go. Hit 1 to curl the wheels, and oof, that's painful. Alright, so test number 1, double bearing, and go. Oh. Okay, you see that? Yep. Wow. Okay. I was gonna say the wheels are freaking out, but that's because I didn't build the supports. I didn't build in the normal supports here, but what I'm trying to test here is speed. And you know what? It's not making it any faster. That is really weird. It's not making it any faster. Really? I don't want to raise the roof of the cab, but so just to let you, okay, so let's just check this out, just to make sure. All the bearings are going in the same forward direction. Right, you see that? The bearings are all going in the same forward direction. 2 different motors for both sides. But it's not making a difference. I'm surprised. I thought we would get at least more speed. Wow. Are we clipped? Oh, we're clipped. Dang it. We're clipped. Clipped in the ground. Alright, so I gotta... Are we up? Are we in the ground? No, okay, good. Yeah. That stinks. Actually, here, let's just... So I didn't change anything else. I didn't change any metal. I didn't change any other weight. I didn't change any other... Actually, the wheels are a little bit lighter because I didn't build in the supports like I did before. But I think with the physics engine and everything else, it's... I don't know what's going on. Aw, really? You clipped in the ground again? Yeah, I'm gonna have to test that. But as you can see, it's not doing a dang thing. I'll build the supports in later. Let me get this on flat ground. Oof, the lag is real. The lag is real. Only from this one creation, the lag is so real. And at the same time, it's also because of recording. Whenever I record, it does drop the frames. Ah, no! Shoot. Yeah, having a giant build like this, it's insane. Maybe I should have this, you know, maybe I should just have it backwards with it. I'm gonna have it auto fold when I drop it. I should just have it auto fold. Because once it folds up, it frees up memory or something. I don't know what. I'm actually holding shift and trying to run. This is insane. Alright, are the wheels... Okay, hopefully they'll be okay. Once they clip in the ground, that's it. Okay, we're good. So, yeah. We're at the same speed. The only difference in weight is that the wheels don't have the same support, so it's a little bit lighter, but we have a second motor. And I'm pressing forward. Actually, here, let me see if I can... Can I zoom in? I don't know if you're able to see that with the difference in the bearing because of the wood that I put for the second bearing. I don't know if you can see that. Actually, no. Yeah, it's not moving. It's barely moving. It's barely moving compared to the wheel. I guess it's not supposed to work? Yeah, it's not moving at all. That is weird. Just to let you guys know, I will try this again in a special episode on a small scales test where that I will try this on, I'll try this on, Mellow Yellow. I'll try it on Mellow Yellow because it's a smaller test. I'm gonna do it in the flat world and I'm just gonna see if it just affects speed and torque. Huh, that's weird. So it's not helping at all. It's not helping at all, but at the same time, always remember that that's what I noticed about this game, is that once the game starts to lag, that's it. Things will work weird, where that controllers will start working weird, where the controllers on an at least until it's patched, controllers on an endless loop on a push button, okay, will continue the endless loop, even when you depress the push button. I already tested that out. That's what on a world that's lagged. When the world's not lagged, then it's very responsive. So this could be attributed to the amount of lag. But then you know what? I think it's worth a test. I'm going to continue this. Where that we have 8. We have somewhere around 8 to 10 minutes left of this episode. Where that I think I'm willing to try this in my flat world on the Big Wheel Mark III. With it, I guess I'll change it to the mellow version. Mellow yellow. Yeah, it's not doing a dang thing. Where that, okay, even with the boost, it might be because of the lag, but with the okay, taking lag into consideration, I'm seeing that with the boosters, dang. Alright, I may take off the rear steering. Please give me my frames back. No! That's how I hate it when it comes to lag. There we go. You know what? I'll return and we'll try this test on the flat world on mellow yellow. But what I definitely will do is that because this world is lagging so much, I think it's because so much I added on to this thing, I will take off. It's going to be a pain in a sense of time used. But I am going to take off the double bearing on Big Yellow here, and then I will consider taking off the double steering because, yeah, as you saw there, she's a little top heavy for that. Where that on my very first, if you saw in my earlier videos on my very first SUV that I made with double steering, that was more made for you know, double steering with the suspension and the tires and everything like that. So yeah, got at least 5 minutes, so I'll see you again when we rebuild this in the Big Wheel Mellow Yellow version flat world. Talk to you later. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Where that I had to create, it was really weird. So I think one of my other worlds is corrupted because I had 2 of the big wheels plus another experimental walker, where that the lag was so bad I couldn't do anything. I couldn't, even if I jacked up one of the vehicles, forget it. It would still lag so bad you could barely move. So I decided to create a new flat world so that there's nothing else affecting everything. I have the double bearings on each electric motor, and each electric motor is at the normal test speed, which is half. Okay, devs, please, when you go into the electric engine, if I hit escape, I want to get out of it. See, I can hit escape on the controller and do that, but in the motors, no, I can't do that. Please, devs, put that in there. But yeah, everything is still all the same as the, except for the lights. This is mellow yellow. Yep, and she's probably just a slightly bit lighter. I'll admit that. This one's probably a little bit lighter because the mellow yellow that I got in my other world, my test world, is a little bit beefier. You know what, forget about the suspension. I don't need to worry about the suspension. It's all completely compressed, but you know what, that doesn't matter right now. What matters is the speed and the torque. So as you can see, let me just make sure again. Double bearings going forward. 2 electric motors, 2 switches. just about the same weight. I'd say a little bit less, a little bit lighter. Okay. Scroll out in test 3, 2, 1. Oh wow, okay, so in a world that's not lagged, it's giving me more speed. But the problem you see here is, you see the bounce? The bounce is because of the torque. I'm not seeing... The funny thing is, the way it's acting, it's not giving me, it's not the same torque. It's just giving me, I mean, it's not added, it's not more torque. It's the same, it's acting the same. Okay, so in an unlagged world, in the current state of the game, today, in the first week of February 2016, because I don't remember the version of the game. Okay, double bearings do make a difference in speed. I don't know if weight will... I think what happens is that weight will probably play a factor a little bit. Where that, like before, I was testing it on the big yellow bus. But with the big yellow bus, there's a lot of weight to it compared to this. Plus the world is slightly lagged whenever I use that thing. So it is confirmed that a double bearing does affect speed. It definitely does affect speed. Now, the thing here is that I'm not sure if it's affecting the torque, because it seems like the torque is still the same. Because the way this thing is acting is as if it was a single bearing and that I had upped the engine speed to the highest, which is of course double of what it is now. So as you can tell with the proportions, double the bearing, half the speed, it's full speed of a single bearing. So it is affecting speed. It's not, I thought that it would affect torque really badly, where that the wheels would, you know, spin like crazy. So, alright, confirmed. Let's check out what it'll do here. It'll probably flip out. Yep, flipping out. We're flipping out. Look at that. It's got so much... It's got so much speed now that it's freewheeling like so. You see that? It's not even staying on the ground. Not even staying on the ground. Now, comparative test. Comparative test. Let's do this. Comparative test. Okay, so the inside bearing. Inside bearing I'm going to lock. And we're only going to be powering the we're only powering the outside bearing. Alright? So right now it's technically the same configuration as mellow yellow. Okay, test speed. Same exact speed, same exact configuration as the original configuration. There you go. So it is confirmed speed, but you can tell there that, yeah. Start off again, wait a minute. Okay, it loses a little bit of traction there. So if we upped this, See, it's acting as if I was doing both. It's acting as if I was doing, actually, yeah. No, the speed is affecting torque. Wait a minute. Let's try something here. Hold on. Start off from there. Okay, it's almost flipping over. Now, let's try it again. At half the speed. Same exact. See that same exact reaction. Okay, well, maybe not. It's not as... It's a little bit more stable. So it's not exactly the same. It's not completely 100% proportional with double bearings. But it does make it faster. And, it doesn't seem... So what it seems like is speed is directly associated with torque. That's what it seems like to me, because it's not with this, it's not it's acting the same exact way as if I had a single bearing and single bearing full speed. Interesting. Very interesting. Very nice. So hopefully that was very informational for you. I thank everybody that had responded and that made me think about it, because I was always thinking about the double bearing, and we finally tested it out. So there you go. And as you can see also with the current state of the game, lag does affect everything. Affects performance and the physics engine of the game itself. So I'm going to spend the next hour reconfiguring the big yellow bus the way I want it. So if everybody, I thank everybody. I thank all you viewers. I thank everybody that responded, especially the special guest that had made me make this video just because I wanted to test everything. As always, please like, favorite, share the video, support the channel as much as you can. Let me know what you think, send a message, leave a comment. I'd love to interact. I'd love to know what you guys think and what you want. Everyone has their own opinion, and meaning that I have my own opinion too. I will not do things that I don't want to do or that I don't like. But I always wanted to do this. It was requested, and I did it. So, as always, please keep frosty out there, stay thirsty, and be safe out there. Don't do anything that we would do in the virtual world. We do it for you so that you don't have to. Be safe out there because we want you to stick around and keep watching. Thanks a lot.